DJ, play me that song.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But it was worth it.
Attention migrants, if you are seeing this adorably beautiful damsel for the first time, this is Migration Gist. My name is Maria.
You don't need to look farther to get information like no other. There's no need to bother, no need to bother, 'cause we have the answer. No worries, no doubt, what's migration's all about. All you need to know.
If you are joining me for the first time, you're welcome. And yes, my name is actually Maria. When I was baptized in the Catholic Church is the name that my mom and my dad gave to me during my baptismal ceremony. Moving to America, maybe because there are a lot of Hispanic communities around me, anytime I'm entering Uber or I'm being interviewed for a job, I always get asked, how come your name is Maria? As if it's an abomination for a black person to be Maria. So I have to, tell them the story about why my name is Maria. Sometimes some people would even go far ahead to say, why your name Maria but no Spanish? And I'm like, why you in America but no English? Attention migrants, my name again is Maria. Welcome to Migration Gist. Yes, I took a sabbatical and I played that song, sang that song for you, my adorable migrants, because it is not easy. I've been away because life on the Kwagbas balls is been happening to the best of us. But hey, I'm here now. And I hope that today I'm able to convince you to relocate to the change that you deserve. Now, let's go into our RASQ for today. Our RASQ for today it starts like this. Do you think that only Christians will go to heaven? I'm asking everybody. But to further buttress on that, do you think that it is only the people that practice your religion that will make it to heaven? I'm dying to know what the comment section would be telling me for this particular episode. Again, RASQ, random act of sharing a question. Do you think that it is only the people that practice your religion that will make it to heaven, Al-Jannah, Jannah, or whatever you call it in your tribe, your tongue, or even your religion? With that asked, let's go to Independence Days. In the crazy week that was, or in the crazy weeks that have been, there have been many countries that have celebrated Independence Days. And like we are for cultures, we are for all cultures, we are for all religions on this channel. So yes, answer my RASQ in the comment section. Now, let's wish these countries happy Independence Day. Come with me. At Saint Barthélemy celebrated independence, Fête de la Fédération actually, August the 24th. Ukraine, our hearts are with them. It's not fun to celebrate independence and be having a war. So Ukraine, you're in our prayers always. Belarus, ooh, the Rus with the beautiful women. Belarus women are very beautiful. Do you see them when they march for Olympics? At least for the last 4 Olympics, one of the beautiful women I always look forward to are Belarus women. No lesbo. Let's go on to the next country. Uruguay, celebrating Independence Day, or celebrated Independence Day, August 25th. Moldova, which was part of former USSR, Soviet Union, celebrated independence, August 27th. And then we have this one, migrants, you people should not blame me. It's called Christian. No. Please let me pronounce it well. It's called Chris. Hey, can you see? It's a struggle. Yeah. but we have Chris. Oh, it's Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan. Please let me not pronounce what I don't know. It's Kyrgyzstan. Everybody say Kyrgyzstan. So Kyrgyzstan celebrated Independence Day August the 31st, and then Malay, those of you that know, Malay celebrated independence August 31st, and Trinidad and Tobago, hey, celebrated independence August 31st as well. My dream of going to any islandic country is just to be scantily clad and then move on those streets for their carnival. Looking forward to it. So there we have it, Independence Days. Now let's go on this particular episode to today's topic, which is tips. And I've tagged it tips, American tip versus Nigerian tip. Now, before I go into American tipping and the history and all the juicy detail, let me give us, all of us, migrants or not, let me use this opportunity to give an ode to my beloved home country, Nigeria, and the tipping culture. Well, when I was in Nigeria, I was guilty of, accusing service workers. So it could be at a restaurant, my Igbo brothers that are selling things to you in the markets. It could just be anybody. I'm like, I beg, you're talking too much. Oh, please. Before I even go into all of that, when a Nigerian seller wants you to tip them, you're going to get accolades that you've never heard or thought that you could have ever before. Let me give you an example. You want to buy something from an Igbo man's shop, or an Igbo man in the southeastern part of Nigeria wants you to buy something from them. Hey, you're going to hear things like, my color. He can be as black as this camera or as black as charcoal, and you are as white as my palm. But that man is going to be like, my color, oh, my queen, Munyim, come and buy something. They would give you so much ode and praises, what we call in our local Nigerian parlance, they will wash you, or they are bleaching you. They will wash you, they will rain praises on you. Oh, my color, oh, my queen, just for you to buy something that is less than 200 naira. And if you know anything about the Nigerian naira, it's a valueless currency. Sorry, I have to put it that way, but that's my truth, and I'm standing or sitting on it. So if you know anything about the naira, it's pretty much valueless. So for somebody to strip themselves of their, I don't want to say dignity, but of their ego, of everything they stand for like that, just to ask you or to kind of like pseudo placate you to purchase something from them, oh dear, it's totally admirable. But you see, when I lived in my home country, I took those kinds of things for granted. My color, oh munyim, oh Okomi, if you enter Balogu market, Okomi, yeah, I have it for you. I took all those things for granted. And I will tell you why I regret it less than a minute from now. Now, if I go to a restaurant and I buy something, hey, one day, migrants, there was this one day, a waiter hyped me. I said, who is this? I was moved to ask who the waiter was. He said, Madam, the way you bright, even the sun no bright pass you. Let me say that for those of you that do not understand Nigerian pidgin English. He was saying, or trying to say, that I looked so ravishing, I looked so elegant, I looked so bright and promising that even the rays from the sunlight did not look like me. Wow. What a wow. So demure. Hey. Coming to America. When I came to America, that was when I knew that people could be entitled to tips. The entitlement was crazy. I mean, I was disgusted and irritated by it. I still am. There was one time Adrienne Bailon, or I think I was watching her from this show that she used to do with Tamar Braxton, Lonnie Love, Tia Mowry, Housley. I used to watch that show back in the day before they stopped the show. The Real, that was the name of the show. And on that show, she said, if you can't afford a certain percentage, I think it was 20 or 25% of whatever you're eating in the restaurant, that you don't deserve to eat out. And I'm like, I'm wondering, I'm so sorry. Now, who is being entitled? Because I worked so hard, made this money, and I want to just eat and go. I mean, if you're nice and you're friendly, yes, I can tip you, but not the one that you be. Don't forget that a tip is a customer's hard-earned money. So what is this? I didn't understand it. And then I now faced the stereotype, sometimes because I was in school too here, I did tell you guys I attended school here. Sometimes when you were going out with your classmates, or you want to go out with your classmates, because my other black friends or even migrant African friends have told me before, especially the ones with a darker skin like mine, they would always say when they want to go somewhere, most times people are somewhat iffy, like they're, I don't know if I should hang out with this person. Black people, they don't know how to tip, or they don't tip well, or they don't tip right. This whole tipping drama has been the debate between my lovely husband and I. Unfortunately for me, my husband is an accountant and he believes in tipping. He swears by it, he lives by it, everything, like he believes in tipping. And I do not. Not like I do not because I don't want to tip, but I believe that a tip should be earned and not demanded. Now, let's go to American tipping culture, what this means for employers and paying of waiters. I stumbled upon this article on CNBC. Let me draw my ear very close so that we know what we're reading. Okay, this is going to be a lengthy one. Please, I hope you guys stick it out, migrants. With so many industries now building tipping into people's tabs, it can be overwhelming to know when you're supposed to leave a little extra and how much. The practice has brought on phenomena like guilt tipping. What did I say? Guilt tipping. Or the pressure to tip whenever presented the option, the tipflation. Oh yeah, the world is going to an inflation right now, and there is a tipflation. Or customers seemingly being asked to tip everywhere. A majority, 60% of Americans say they're tipping more these days. This article was actually written last year, December of last year, so it's not a very aged article. So, like I was saying, a majority, 60% of Americans say they're tipping more these days, according to an April 2023 Lending Tree survey of 2,000 US consumers. 2,000 is a very low number. And about a quarter, 24%, say they always feel pressured to tip when presented the option. I didn't fill this survey, but me alone, I'm 50% of this 24%. Anyways, while many industries have adopted the practice, tipping is most entrenched in the restaurant industry, where workers rely on gratuities to make up much of their wages. Even there, Americans have long been ambivalent about it. I still am. Here is how tipping came to America in the first place and how it became institutionalized in food services specifically. So, as a practice, tipping has its origin in Europe, for God's sake, of the Middle Ages, a period which lasted from about 500 to 1500 AD, when the wealthy would give people in lower classes extra money for their services, according to Kerry Seagrave's Tipping, an American Social History of Gratuities. In the 1800s, Americans who had seen tipping on travels abroad thought this would be a wonderful thing to kind of mimic our brothers and sisters in Europe. Please mark these lines, our brothers and sisters in Europe. and brought the practice to the US, says Steven Zagor, a professor at Columbia Business School specializing in restaurant industry. Though many Americans rebelled against it, the practice spread. At the end of the Civil War, America's labor force was flooded with formerly enslaved people and immigrants, says Zagor. Employers took advantage of this class of low-educated, low-income workers, he says, and hired them for jobs that paid very little, encouraging patrons to tip as a supplement to wages. This shifted the responsibility of paying workers to customers and cut employers' costs. Various businesses within the service industry adopted the practice, but the company that really institutionalized tipping, Zogar says, was the Pullman Company, which built and operated railroad cars. In the 1860s, the company purposely hired formerly enslaved people to achieve the high-quality customer service the Pullman cars are known for. According to the Library of Congress, workers shined shoes, made beds, woke up passengers that is sleeping, woke up passengers, and so on. They worked long hours and relied heavily on tips for pay. Companies liked to not have to pay for labor. They loved it so much to not pay for labor. Americans continue to have mixed feelings about tipping. Some patrons saying it was condescending, it was classicist. A few states even outlawed the practice around the turn of the 20th century, but economically, companies really liked the opportunity to not have to pay for labor. Those laws making tipping illegal were eventually repealed. When President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed the Fair Labor Standards Act in 1938, it established a minimum wage for some industries, excluding food services and others like retail and construction. But when restaurants were added in 1966, they weren't covered until the typical minimum wage as other industries ultimately were. Instead, restaurant owners would pay what's called a tip credit, which means you can pay a percentage of the minimum wage as long as your tipped employees get enough tips to equal what the minimum wage is or more, says Zagor. As of 1996, the federal tipped minimum is $2.13 per hour. At this point, I know that some of you that are listening will be like, auntie, if it's $2.13 per hour, you too tip now. In response to that, I agree with you, I should tip. But tell me why I'm tipping in a place like Starbucks, or in a place like McDonald's, or Burger King, or Chick-fil-A, or like, how can I be tipping at those places? These people are making turnovers of billions in a quarter or even less than billions of dollars. That's their revenue, their turnout, everything. Some of you say, operations costs. Listen, I don't want to get too technical. I would tip, but may my tips be earned. The same way, if I'm doing something, please, may I earn the tip, because I believe in merit a lot. Everything I own in my life anyways, I've had to work for. So why should I believe in tips so much, especially when it's not earned? Well, you should read this article. We would put it down below. But let me go down to the part of the article that I thought made sense for me, which I believe would make sense to you too. If you feel the urge to tip, by all means, do so. If you feel the urge to tip, by all means, do so. Not all states have the same tipping system. As is the case with the regular minimum wage, states can decide to create their own tipped minimum, as long as it's not lower than the federal minimum. Vermont's tipped minimum wage is $6.59 cents per hour. For example, New Mexico's is $3. Michigan is $3.84. Some states, including California, Alaska, and Montana, have eliminated the tipped minimum altogether, so employers have to pay the state's full minimum wage. California, Alaska, and Montana. They are states like Texas. They don't have two heads. When you're sitting down at a restaurant, know the various people serving you are likely dependent on that gratuity, which is sad. To make a decent salary, they are relying on that gratuity to make a decent salary, rightly so. In that instance, Diane Gottsman, the founder of the Protocol School in Texas, and a nationally recognized etiquette expert, recommends tipping 15 to 20%. In most other situations, it's up to you, she says. If you experienced great service from this person, she says, if there's a connection between you and them, they're smiling, they're friendly, and you feel the urge to tip, by all means, do so. Can you see this person's advice? Can you see her advice? The Protocol School in Texas, Diane Gottsman, she says, let me name the factors for tipping. Number one, if there is a connection between you and them. If you've experienced great service, number two. If they are smiling, number three. If they are friendly, number four. And number five, if you feel the urge to tip. Now, you may not feel all five, but you may feel all four, you may feel some three, you know. It's not knock on wood, like it's not cast on a stone or on a rock that, oh, you must feel all five. No, it's conditional. It's susceptible to bending. It mustn't be. But my point is, I've been to restaurants before where the server was, I know I can be rude, but where the server was blank, plain, rude, and disgusting. In fact, she was smacking a damn gum in her mouth. She was chewing like a mare. And still you want me to tip that person? Who knows if she even spat in my food? If you can chew gum in my face like that, and some people can say, oh, she's just chewing a gum is not anything. I'm sorry. I'm still a village girl. I'm from Nigeria. There are some cultures that I need that unfortunately have not died yet. Yes, even though I'm the preacher of cultures dying. But I want to say this. Please, this tipping mentality and this tipping mandate, let it die. If you're not ready to give great service, be smiling, have connection, be friendly or nice, and what's the Gottsman labeled here, please don't be demanding for cultures and stop labeling races that, oh, these people don't really tip. I mean, if you're nice to the person that you think, or the race that you think that is tipping you more, be nice to them, they'll tip you. But you can't be as mean as dust to me and be expecting that I should tip you my hard-earned money. No, I'm just going to eat and have fun and do what I came to do there. Get up and go. Whatever you have at the back of your reckless brain should be your business. And I hope I've been able to convince you migrants today to relocate to the change that you deserve. Yes. On this particular episode, this season 1, episode 6, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you. On our next episode, we have a guest. So migrants, you people should behave. The next episode, we're going to talk about black taxes. Black what? Taxes. Some people ain't gonna like it, but we're gonna talk about it. Migrants, it's been me. Don't forget to keep it locked here. We have so much more coming for you. Yes, I went on a sabbatical, but I'm back now. I've picked up the pieces and I'm back now. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for keeping it locked here. My name is Maria, and this has been MigrationGist. Do not forget to relocate to the change you deserve. While you're at it, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, on Apple Podcast, on TikTok. We are MigrationGist. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to leave your comments down below. We are very happy and excited to read all of them and respond to all of them. Thank you for your time. The channel is owing somebody $20 from winning something. please send us a message at infomigist@stalulullc.com, and that is where all your correspondence should come from. If you're looking to partner with us, if you're looking to do something with us, please go there. infomigist@stalulullc.com. Send us all your emails, all your messages. We're happy to read them. Thank you again, Maria, and this has been Migration Gist. Goodbye.